turned 16 years old, I kind of had this huge breakdown. Right off the bat, it was methamphetamines. I went to a party and it was kind of like, hey, you want to try something? Hey, there's some stuff in the room. Through the years doing methamphetamines or doing drugs and all that stuff, you know, you do a lot of things that you would not normally do if you were clean, sober, if you're in your right mind and everything. The things that I feel like I lost, like a main big thing was my children. Like I sacrificed them for my own pleasures. I think what kept me in the addiction so long was, to me, it was feeling freedom in a sense. And it sounds funny, because it wasn't freedom. I thought it was. One night I went out, it was just really wild and way out of control, and we're getting high and we're up for a few days and you just feel sick. Next couple of weeks, I started feeling funny, and then I found out that I was pregnant for a second time with Kyle, my middle son.
You search and you see the earth and everything under the stars. No rock will remain unturned. To you, darkness isn't dark.
My mom, she said, why don't you just come home? And I was like, I can't come home. Like, there's no reason for me to come. No, why don't you just come home? No matter what I did in my life, she would always tell me to come home, and she just loved me. And so I went back home, I gave birth to Kyle, and I stayed clean for probably 6 months. And then that feeling of like, I'm not ready to do this again. I shouldn't have had another kid, and all that, everything that happened before is happening again. And I just left again, straight across the states back to Nevada, and I'm high again. And this time we're living in an apartment that has like no furniture and just a mattress on the floor, working at like Wendy's, trying to make ends meet and stuff. And I was probably there maybe another 6 months when it's kind of cool. Somebody comes knocking at my door, and I was like, who's at my door, So I open it, and it's these people, and they had grocery bags in their hands.
Where can we run? Where can we go? We can escape your hold.
They brought us food, and they would bring us food every week, and they would check on me and see how I was doing. And then I went to their church, and they loved on me and stuff. And I think that was the changing point. They saw through all that sin and all those drugs. They didn't care. I didn't give my heart to the Lord at that time, but it was at that point that I knew something had to change. Somebody had told me about a Christian rehab. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try this out, and we would wake up and we would read the Bible and we would write memory verses, and then we would leave together and we would clean this house with special needs children. And during this time, I'm able to really reflect on the things that I had been going on in my life and learning about who I was now and where I've come from and all the pain and who I want to be in the future.
We're not our own, but you give us hope for an eternal home.
I was in the bathroom cleaning, scrubbing the bathroom, and I had this roommate, and I don't really even remember her name, but we were just talking, and she was talking to me about the Lord and everything, and I could just feel something warm over me. And it was at that point that I knew that God just loved me. I went to my knees, and it was in a bathroom, and I just said, Lord, forgive me. So loving and kind, and he wants you to have something more, and that peace that you could have from Christ is so much better than anything you can experience away from him. I feel like when we hold things back from the Lord, it's evident in people's lives in different ways. For me, it's darkness. There's no joy. You are naked before God. Everything that you have is exposed, and he sees it all. And so when I'm thinking that I'm hiding it from him, it's just eating me up inside. There's a lot of people who are addicted to drugs right now out there. It's all fun and games at the beginning, but once you're sucked into those drugs, once you're sucked into that lifestyle, you feel like there is no hope and you cannot get out. But there is hope, and you can, and God can help you do it. I work in an emergency room. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for 10 years. I'm around every drug in the world, and I have no desires. And that part of my life is gone. God gave me an amazing husband, 19 years married. I lost that motherhood thing when I was younger, but God restored it as I got older. God can change you. Who you are today doesn't have to be who you are tomorrow.